Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Airlinesim with me, Alfapiomega, and PNLL. Today I got a bunch of good news, well actually a huge update, so I would like to get down to it. But just as a forward, we're doing great, never better. We are currently sitting on 43 airpoints, which is the maximum that we ever had. But this number is bound to change. Whether down or up will be seen in the upcoming days. Now, I prepared a detailed overview of my flights here. I did a number of changes. I finished this number of changes, then I did something, I did these changes, then I did something and did these changes. So we're gonna go over it in the way that I have gone through those. So, I dropped the Paris flight as I announced, I think, in the last video. Instead, I upgraded Belgrade to an Airbus 320 and Rome to Airbus 319. Now, Belgrade is, our proper focus city. We are now flying there 3 times per day with an A320 family and once per day with Canada Regional Jet 1000. I haven't checked how it's doing in a while, but I really think the city is pretty cool. Yeah, we're having mostly almost full flights. The only part that sucks is the cargo part of it, because we're just not getting enough cargo there. But yeah, we have a bit of a problem with the business passengers on the morning flight. Yeah, the morning flight is the only one that's actually hurting. And that one is on... That's probably a A320, right? Let's check that. Oh, come on. Learn to use the keyboard. Yeah, it's an A320 flying there in the morning. So I might downgrade this one, switch it out with a different aircraft. Because that one is not doing all that great. So it's the 901 flight. Yeah, that one is way overboard. On the other hand, you can see that it's slowly raising, but I keep upgrading the capacity continuously, and it's just not keeping up. The return, though, is doing much better on the... Oh wait, that's all of them, right? Let's check the 902. Yeah, the return is doing pretty good. It was full for most cases, and then now it's slightly below. But still, Belgrade is definitely a focus city for us. I also upgraded the route to Rome. We are flying there now with an A319, so let's check that to see what the performance is. The performance is okay. Even with the cargo, I'm shocked, pretty much. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. The A319 is doing us a good job. Pretty good job. When fully loaded, what is the outcome? Okay, not much. Now I feel sad. Yeah, we are flying for ridiculously low prices here, it seems. I don't know. I don't think this is necessary, so let's raise it up a bit on both legs, because I think that now with the new aircraft there really is no need to have the prices so low. And what the fuck was this? Huh. I have no idea what happened there. One of our flights was severely underbooked. No idea. But I'm not gonna investigate it now because it was yesterday, so hard to do that. We also upgraded a couple of other routes. Petersburg now has 3 daily flights. There's an additional one with a notification with 3 daily flights with a Canada Regional Jet 1000 New Gen. We're missing just the afternoon flight, which I'm actually thinking of adding because it could be a pretty good focus city. Wait, where's St. Petersburg? It's here somewhere. And it's looking pretty good. There's a ton of capacity on this route now. But the aircraft seems to handle it pretty well. Yeah, especially in economy class. We have some extra space in business. But that's how it usually goes. Business is underbooked everywhere. So yeah, this is okay. I think we're reaching our potential here. I think we are reaching our potential. Actually, you know what? I think I might really institute what would be called the focus cities and start doing those. I'll get to it pretty soon and explain what I mean. But just note that Belgrade is definitely a focus city, so is Prague, so is St. Petersburg for us. So it's good to note that. Those are cities where and also Minsk. Minsk is a focus city. How is Minsk doing anyway? We have quite a lot of capacity there. Okay, but it needs to be from Warsaw. Yeah, see, with transport actually over 400 passengers every day out of Minsk. And yes, actually that was to Minsk, and out of Minsk the numbers are even better. So Minsk is definitely a big focus city. How are we handling Minsk now? I think there's 4-day-away Airbus flights. No, 2-day-away Airbus flights and 2-day-away Canada regional jet flights. Okay. Any big other changes? Yeah, we started flying to Rostov now with a Canada Regional 1000. And also we upgraded the Kaliningrad place. Kaliningrad is another one of our focus cities. But the capacity there is not my primary focus now. Maybe I should look into it a bit more. Because there's a number of... Oh yeah, we flew there quite a lot. And yeah, you can see that it's... Yeah, it could definitely use an upgrade in capacity, I can already tell you that. So Kaliningrad, I'm gonna mark it down for me here. Great. Kaliningrad. Okay. Anyway, that's just a sidestep. Rostov, one of the cities in Russia that we only fly to once per day, but now with a Canada Regional Jet 1000, it's looking pretty cool. Yeah, especially the return one. Think I could bump up the prices a bit here too, now that we've added a brand new airplane. So I'm gonna go with 140 and actually just 400 because the business class isn't doing all that good at all. But still, you know, it's a major change. 10 per passenger, that's like $800 per flight per day. It makes a difference. It makes a big difference. Okay, so then, yeah, we upgraded Ostrava, Kaliningrad, we already spoke about that. Oh, we're flying to Cagliari twice per day now, and we are flying to Budapest 3 times per day now. So Budapest, that's another easy choice. I need to fly to Budapest more. I don't think the 3 flights per day are doing it as much good as 4 flights would be doing. So there is definitely another flight to Budapest coming soon. I'm gonna write it here also. Notes. Upgrade Kagada, establish 4th day to Budapest. And what was the other one? Oh, Cagliari, right? Cagliari, which is just a small city. A small city for us in Italy. But yeah, you can see that it's doing really good. Cagliari is doing really good. So I could upgrade this if I wanted to, but I won't, and I'll explain later why. So that's the first batch of changes. There were no added planes. It was just moving up some good... actually, no. We added a Canada Regional Jet 1000 here. I can see that now. I moved 2 flights up, and then I had 3 new flights here. And yeah, we added some more flights here. Okay, so that was the first thing I did was clean out the flights and add an additional Canada Regional Jet 1000. But then I added 2 A318s to our fleet. So when we look at our info page, you can see that out of Airbuses we now have 2 A318s 100 whites. It's exactly as I said in the last video. I grabbed 2 cheap ones. They're, in very good age, very good shape, and they are now serving us very well. So we got 2 A318s, 2 A319s, and 2 A320s. I'm gonna keep on expanding this A320 family. I would like to grab Airbus 321 soon. Neo, preferably. I'll need to negotiate that with my partner, Helvetia, because they've been pretty much up until now the sole provider of Airbuses to us. So I'd like to continue in this tradition. I just grabbed these two because they were really cheap. But I like, I would have to get this one off the market somewhere, and there are no on the market. So I am either going to pay the game for the airplane, or I'm going to pay my partner for the airplane. So I'd much rather pay him, because either though he's going to have, the original investment into there, and he's going to have a steady stream of money from me forever. So I prefer this option to spending it into the game, but I'll see how he's going to look at. I also noticed that there's a bunch of other A319s and A318s on the market. We could add additional up to 15. And as there's no Airbus 319 Neo yet, the enhanced ones I think are still on the market. Oh, actually no, that was like 2 yesterday, but they're gone now. So this is the one that I'm using. So I also have to get that one. And I can discuss it with my partner from Helvetia later on. But for now, there's a bit of a different plan, and I'll get to it in a second. So let's look at the A318s. These aircraft are now serving the routes to Gatwick. They took that over from the Canada Regional Jet 700, which is a big upgrade, and from the 1000. So the Gatwick flight now, I believe, where's this? Gatwick is also one of our focus airports. Yeah, Gatwick is now solely served by Airbuses. So it's like the only one that we have. And it's doing us, I think, a ton of good, because London is a pretty good destination for us. You can see that there is still room for improvement. The business class is completely full. The cargo is almost full. Economy is full sometimes. Actually, this seems like there will be more booking here. So, the economy class is also full. So I could upgrade... where do I have my notes? Here. So I'm going to upgrade the destination. Well, upgrade. Possibly upgrade Getavel to bigger A320 family members. Okay, so Gatwick was taken over by these two, so now we fly solely with Airbuses there. And then there's Minsk, we already checked that. I added a new flight by the A318 to Kishinev, which is something that I wanted to do for a long time. It's Chisinau in English. We call it Kishinev with K in Czech. So we're flying there once per day with an A318. Now, Kishinev is a special destination because Moldova is a very poor country located between Ukraine and Romania. And there is only one mid-sized airport. But for some reason on Gatwick, on Gato, there is a humongous airline located there, which is called Yektar Europe. I got about 250 airplanes in ownership, and I got another 111 leased. So together that's 350 aircraft. Some of them are really big. They operate 767 fleet, A320 fleet, and the C series. I think these are new. Definitely they're new, but most of their aircraft are fairly old. Yektar is also, expanding into other open markets, and they created their own alliance. So this is all run by a single person called Urumqi Flyer. So Kishinev is almost exclusively served by him. He has like nearly 4,000 departures, and when you look at the statistics, he owns like 97% of the market. It's unbelievable, but you can build this if you snatch up a small city and just steadily grow. So I just wanted to point that out. There are there's like 42-day flights, 42 weekly flights from Ukrainian Airlines, some from Airlinesim, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So no one is really operating flights there, apart from me. So I created a flight with A380 there to sort of expand and see. The slot situation in Kishinev is pretty much bad. It was kind of horrifyingly hard to establish a flight between Warsaw, which has really bad slots, and Kishinev, which has really bad slots. So, but I managed in the end by moving around flights and doing that. And it's gonna be a sort of a pride flight for ourselves, because we're flying there just to point out that this airport is not owned solely by just one person. The flights aren't doing all that good, honestly. I won't lie. We could downgrade this to a much smaller aircraft. The return ones are a bit better. We're getting a ton of connecting traffic from there. Yeah, it's solely connecting traffic. And we're losing a lot of money, but I am never going to drop Kishinev because I feel like it's a matter of the pride. We have the best rating there is, higher than he does. Because you're wondering, maybe I could raise the price by 5. I don't know what that would do. It would help me significantly in the long run. So let's try. Actually, how much did I have there? 300. So let's put this to 310. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference. Let's check if we do have the business as well under our scrutiny. Why is it? Oh, it's still loading. Okay. It's probably checking. So the matter of the fact is there we do rating 100. He has 98, but he has lower prices. That's interesting. Still crappier service. So let's upgrade this 310. We're just gonna keep it as it is. I might downgrade this later on to a smaller aircraft. Maybe it's a 380 now, I think. It would be super hard to actually do that though, due to the fact that 105 and 300. Count then 10 and 310 due to the bad slot situation, but I'll just keep this as a possible connection. It's fun to, and we can afford it. So this is sort of a pride flight for me. Now we added a second daily connection to Berlin. We upgraded Belgrade, Warsaw to KRK. Is that Krakow? I think that's Krakow. Where's the dashboard there? That's right. KRK, yeah. So I started flying to Krakow. What did I add? Oh, it seems like I added... Yeah, I added a second daily connection. I marked them down wrong. So now we have 2 daily flights. One with... This is probably the 700 and one with 1000. And they're flying with unbelievably low prices. Our points are full, but I don't think this is making us maybe even any kind of money. Well, it is. It is making us money, and we're paying part of our overhead costs by it. Are there any less than full flights here? I could check. Okay, yeah, it's good, it's good. We're not getting that much connection from it though, kind of surprising. But we penetrated another Polish city, Krakow, just to make a point. Yeah, upgraded the flight to Vnukovo. That one was way overdue. We usually fly to Moscow, Sheremetyevo, where I'm just gonna pop it up here so you guys can see it. So Moscow, Sheremetyevo, we are serving. Oh, that's another destination that we're serving solely by Airbuses. But I also upgraded the Moscow Vnukovo. There we had, we had 3 daily flights there with a Canada Regional Jet 200. Now we have 2 daily with a 1000 and 1 daily with a 200. So this is gonna be a work in progress. Now I need to find the Vnukovo flight. Moscow Vnukovo. Yeah, it's doing good. There is possible potential for more, it seems. Okay, I don't think we need to lower the business price here that much anymore. We have 390. Let's put it to 390. We'll earn us a bit of an extra buck. So that was pretty good. It led to one more. We started flying to Košice. It's I think morning. No, night flight. Okay, we're flying to Košice with a Canada Regional Jet 700. So I wonder how that one is doing. Okay, it was always full. Oh, okay, so we did start. I think I upgraded it in the following. Oh yeah, so I started flying there with a Canada Regional Jet 200, and then I upgraded it immediately to a bigger aircraft, and it's looking like it will work out fine. Good. So Košice is a nice destination for us. Another one in the book. So with all that said, I moved on to the next part of the plan, which is something that actually one of my subscribers suggested. I went over it and he had a point. I decided that we are going to phase out the Canada Regional Jet 100s. We had 3 of them, we still do, but I already terminated the contract for 2 of them, and I'm gonna do so now for the last one. The reason why I haven't done it before was because, here's the one termination, is the other one, because it was really near, and I would drop a number of flights. Okay, here it is, so I can now safely drop it. When you return the aircraft, all of the future flights that were there, which was like, it was I think Friday, no, it wasn't Friday, it was Wednesday when I was doing this, and it was supposed to be paid on Thursday or early Friday, so I decided to rather pay an entire week on leasing, because we had really good contracts on these. We paid really small amounts, so the actual cancellation fees would be much, much higher than that. So where's the leasing? I'm gonna drop that one again. Let's go by model. Here you are. Here you are, buddy. So now all of these 3 Bombardiers will be returned within the next week. We're gonna get a bit of money out of that. I know 200, about 600,000, even with the leasings paid. Yeah, it's like it was like 650,000 return. And I decided to switch the Canada Regional Jets 100 to Canada Regional Jet 700 next generation. So I give you the new member of our fleet, the Bombardier Canada Regional Jet 700 Next Gen. This is currently the smallest aircraft that is made by Bombardier. Actually, it's no longer... it is a Bombardier, yeah. But I meant to say there were still some business jets done in the 200, but they completely discontinued it. And the smallest new one you can get is the 700, which has 78 seats. So all of the 200 flights, all of the flights of the 100s, that's what I meant. Well, there's the same configuration for the 100 and 200. It was just a generation change. Are now switched to the 700s. We now have 3 of those. It's sort of an experiment to see how well it will go. But they're all brand new, by the way. I don't know why it's saying that they're, 1 month old. They're not. I got them directly from Airlinesim. I ordered them. They were delivered. And the next step will probably be phasing out the 200s in the future. That's the next fleet that I'm gonna start phasing out. Or actually, I thought that I might be phasing out the 900s because there's just like 3 of them, and we have 1 long range, 2 extended ranges, and I would maybe like to phase them out in favor of the 900 next generation. By the way, I was this week on a business trip in Sarajevo, and I flew from Prague to Munich using this exact plane from Lufthansa City Connect. Man, this aircraft is so comfy. But we had such bad weather on the trip, and I got out of the plane almost entirely green. It's horrifying when you get into strong turbulence. The plane is perfect. It's very comfy. Lufthansa has a great configuration for it. But oh my god, we were all over the place in the airplane. So anyway, we're slowly gonna do this. We're slowly gonna start transitioning to the new aircraft. These ones are a bit more expensive. They don't cost $1,200,000, but $1,550,000. But it would be another sort of unification, because we got a ton of possibilities here, and yeah, I really think that the 900s would be a better choice. There are a pride fleet anyway. The 200s connect most of the small destinations, so the 900s would do better. But anyway, let's move on. This is the song of the future. So what are the actual 700s doing? So I named these ones Alicia, Anielka, and Adelaida. They were added to the 700 fleet, and they are flying the following destinations. So Alicia is flying to Košice. You already saw that. Tallinn to this is Bakau and Poznań. All of those are looking fairly good. They will start actually today. Wow, it's 13:30, so the first flight will take place. Okay. So this is there is a mistake here. I probably had to change because the 700s are faster than the 100s, and they have a higher minimum speed. So I had to move around the flights a bit, and it rescheduled one flight from Bakau to Warsaw for today, but it should start flying from tomorrow. So let's see how are you doing. Actually, not really good. Yeah, these aircraft are way more expensive than the ones we used before. So some of the destinations aren't properly set to this. I'll have to do a price check on them, because we're not paying anymore like 20,000 in leasing, but actually 120,000 in leasing. You can see that the profit is significantly lower. Yeah, well, what can you do? The second aircraft, Anielka, is flying to Palanca to Basel. I actually upgraded. That was one thing that I felt bad about it. When Helvetia Air dropped their connection between Warsaw to Basel, I took it over, but I really had no airplane to fly there. So it was 3 daily connections using the Canadair Regional Jet 200, but now we have 2 700 next generation and 1 200, which will be eventually upgraded soon. So Basel, then there's Palanca again and Basel again. This aircraft, has pretty simple setting. So first Basel, Basel, and Palanca. I guess these flights won't be really a profit though. Yeah, that's really low. I'll have to check that. Now I downgraded the prices when there were older planes flying there due to the fact that the rating was lower. But now when we're using brand new aircraft, I don't think there's need for such low prices. Also, the business class, man, is bugging me. We need more people in business class. You need to find some good place, which is where Moscow and Belgrade and all these that have full business class come into play. They need bigger aircraft so that more business passengers can connect. Okay, and Adelaida is flying to Samara, to Brussels, Charleroi, to Poznań, and to Bydgoszcz. So let's check that one. I'm most afraid of this one, and turns out I don't have to. So Samara is doing great. A lot of extra connecting traffic. That's good. This one could be straight up upgraded already. Brussels South Charleroi is also doing good. A lot of connecting traffic as well. Poznan not so good, but that's a small flight. And Bydgoszcz is doing, well, not bad. But man, Samara has such a big demand in economy. 3 days in advance and it's already fully booked. Interesting. So these aircraft are the new additions. We will drop the hundreds within this week and drop down to 40 aircraft. Now, I also mentioned one thing. I said that we don't know if we're not gonna grow in this week. The reason is Helvetia Air has contacted me that the guy running Helvetia Air wants to help me a bit and free up some slots in Warsaw. He did a big check on the city, found out some routes that are not that profitable, and he's going to move his aircraft away. We already discussed it. It should be 3 engines. The original transition was supposed to be done yesterday. But we didn't really meet. I came early, then had to leave as I was unpacking and stuff, and then when I come back at around midnight, he was already gone. So we're probably gonna transition within the week. I'm thinking I need to check the slots to see when it's gonna happen, because most of the critical times are, of course, the times when I have most flights. So it's around 10 o'clock when we arrive, 12 o'clock when we depart, 16 o'clock when we arrive, 18 o'clock when we depart. Then there's midnight, which doesn't seem so bad, but it actually is. There's 3 slots and 22 for arrival. And then there's a bunch of wait slots in the midnight for departures. So that's one big thing that's going to happen. Also, another thing that's going to happen, I discussed this again with Helvetia Air operator or, manager. Operator. How do you operate your airline? Well, from the standpoint of a call center guy. I was... for a long time now, I did these experiments with long-haul flights. You guys know about it. You saw me try it twice. The first one was a disaster. We opened a route to New York. Then it was cancelled within a week because it was highly... We were hemorrhaging money pretty much on it. The second one went better. It actually covered most of the costs when you incorporate the indirect cost, which was connecting traffic. But it still seemed like, it wasn't rentable in the profitable in the long run. So I spoke with Helvetia about this, and he gave me a couple of suggestions because he's actually running an airline in Poland somewhere else. And there's a number of good destinations in United States. Now, when we look at LOT, you will see that LOT is actually operating a number of flights to long-haul destinations. Where are your destinations? Here. So LOT operates flights to Canada, to United States, and to Mexico and Cuba also. They're flying to... let's show them my country. In the United States, they're flying to Chicago, LA, and to New York, both of the airports. Chicago is already taken by a company which is called RG. Actually, that's fun. For up until this week, I always thought, where is it? I need to show it. This is it. It's an Alliance member, and I always thought this was Air Cheese, and I thought, that's such a stupid fucking name for an airline. Why? And then this week I was looking up on him, and it's Air Chesa. So I hope I never said that actually out loud anywhere. But it's one of the most humongous airlines in the server. They operate over 2,300 aircraft, and they cover pretty much most of the world. They're very strong in certain destinations, like in Miami. Unfortunately, they're very weak in New York. But they also operate, they're very strong in Washington, in the Dallas. Actually, I don't know if Dallas. I wanted Washington Dulles International Airport, but oh my god, it's gonna take forever to open. Let's check. It's Dallas Fort Worth, but I don't know. I don't remember the IATA code. Not Love Field. Yeah, DFW. So let's see the Vico departures. Oh wow, Dallas would be another really good choice. But it's so freaking far. That's so freaking far. Well, what I was trying to say is that I'm discussed this with Helvetia Air, and he suggested I check his airline. I did, and he's flying to some very good destinations in United States. So I actually broadened my horizon, and I decided to use my alliance. I contacted Airchess to send him an interlining agreement, and he agreed. Now this is gonna benefit me in itself, because he's already flying to Warsaw. Where is he? He's here. He's flying daily to Chicago with Airbus 787. So this is like an awesome. Oh no! Wait, there's a Boeing. That's not. Oh, he's flying with the Boeing. Oh, okay. I thought it was the Airbus 380. I messed that up completely. Okay, so the dream airplane. Okay, so we have this aircraft coming every day to feed us and take some feeder traffic from us. And the feeding connection to my flights is not great, but from my flights that is actually good. So it's gonna benefit me. But I sent him a message yesterday saying that I would like to discuss with him the possibility of more long-haul flights, and that I would be happy to take some over. So again, I was considering New York, Miami, Washington. Now Dallas is a good idea. I know LA would be great, and a couple of other things. The problem really is though that this is gonna be a humongous investment for me. Most of these destinations are far from what I can reach using conventional means. I was considering using a 757, which is dirt cheap, but it's dirt cheap for a reason. It's 31 years old, and I'm trying to make myself better by using younger aircraft. Unfortunately, this one can't reach the destinations I need him to. There are some around 10 years of age. So I moved up my game to 767, 200, and 300. These ones can reach some destinations, but Jesus freaking Christ, look at that. If we, for example, wanted to fly from Warsaw to Dallas for Fort Worth, that's a 12-hour, 18-minute flight. So we could not even operate this every day. We would have to operate it probably 4 times a week, and I need another second aircraft to be able to operate it the other day. Now the problem here is I don't really have any other destination where I could fly with this. Miami is exactly the same freaking game. 1154, that doesn't really help. I was thinking about opening maybe flights to Canada. Okay, that's trail. Wait. No. I think it was IIT. No, that's St. John's. I know that this is the international code for Canadian, but I don't know. Okay, give up. Toronto is Ito, but that's the city code. The city code. Oh, YYZ. I did YZZ, didn't I? YYZ. Okay, so Toronto would be maybe an option, but I'm not really sure if what would that be. 3-hour blocks 3 times a week would be enough. So this is again quite far from our place of interest, but there really isn't. Well, Montreal is a bit closer. I don't remember Montreal's. You have to go. That's YMX. Okay, so this one would be maybe doable. That's 17 hours, so that's 3 daily, 3 blocks of 6. Yeah, that would be, if I combine Montreal and one of the American destinations, that might work. But okay, this is the wrong city. What was the other one? Oh, Yule, yeah. Okay, so this one is a big city with a lot of people there, but I need to sign an agreement with someone like this, I guess. Pale Green Airways. Is there any connection from this city to anywhere near me? It seems like there's a lot of slots. It says flights to United States, Portugal, Switzerland. Would definitely be France and Germany. Oh my god, they're operating this with A320s. Okay, but this is not all that bad. France, yeah, I don't really care about France. Canada, Cuba. Okay, hey, Montreal is a great destination. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open an office in Montreal, and I'd like to actually send this guy an interlining agreement, and if he actually accepts this, we have our destinations. Okay, so I'm considering starting daily flights to Montreal, so I would like to know if you're interested in signing an interlining agreement. I know we are in different alliances, but I think this would potentially benefit both of us. Let me know what you think. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna send him this message. We'll see what he's gonna say. And this would actually work, because then I could fly to 3 days. I would probably try this with one aircraft first, and if that works, put in another one. But now the question is, what kind of aircraft would we use for this? The 757 is out of question. 767, many people, I think I'm doing something wrong, but many people told me the 767 is a great aircraft. 767-200 is a great aircraft for long haul. I just don't see it. When I say Warsaw, I don't know, Miami, for example, it can do it, but the actual evaluation for this flight is not really good for this kind of aircraft. So I think I'm doing something wrong here. I'm gonna demonstrate. Where are you? Here. So it's telling me that downright, it's telling me immediately that this flight will be at a loss, even if I do nothing. If I tone down the price a bit down to make it reasonable, I don't think 90 is as far as I would go. I'd say 95, and I put in the comfort seats, it drops even deeper. So I have no idea why I should operate this. What does it say for Montreal? Well, so I guess this aircraft is better for shorter destinations like Montreal, but not really good for this one. So that closes that off. I don't want to use a 777 because these aircraft are huge. So I have no idea if I would fill even half of it. I don't even think I could fill in 224 seats that this bastard would have. That puts me to the Airbus family. I know. Some of you told me that, for example, the A320neo Heavy is a great long-haul aircraft. Well, that might be the case, but Warsaw is a bit further away than, for example, Germany. So when you try to, I think it can manage Montreal. Yeah, it could fly to Montreal. But when you go, for example, from Miami, that's like 16% load factor. Unless I fill it top to bottom with business class seats, this is not happening. So the next one I have on my list is the A310, which is horrifyingly old. A310 is actually an interesting aircraft, but there are none available, and they're also very aged. This extended range aircraft could work, but it's 280 seats. That's pretty much the same as I had. Oh, did I close it? Oh, I closed it. So it's the aircraft type evaluation. Warsaw to Miami. A310, and the Boeing 767. And I think that it ends up to being even worse. Well, actually, no. I'm happy to say, let's go overboard. Let's go 90 and Comfort Plus. What is that? Okay, that's a bit fucked up. What about Comfort? Okay, well, this is still way better than the 767. But these aircraft are so old. Yeah, 10, well, actually 12 years. It's not that much. What about the... See, they're slightly bigger. Use more fuel. Maintenance is the same. Capital cost is lower. Fixed cost, well... Proceed 369. Yeah, the costs here are what's dragging this one down. Okay, another thing that I considered was A320, A340, but you can see these are all in the 400 and above range. There's a smaller version of the A340 which has extended range, but still this is just too much. I need something smaller, something more useful. I'm thinking about going back to the Tupolev because I really like that this one is so small and that it actually is capable of doing this, but that one doesn't have really good overhead costs either. Yeah, and it can't even fly. Wait, is it the right one? Oh no, it's 204-300. I put in the wrong plane. Remove yourself from the premises. This one. Yeah, you can see that it's really bad too. It's the fees. It's the fees per seat. So we're facing two problems. If you want to start a long haul flight, we need an aircraft that has really low seat cost. But the seat cost for most of the aircraft is would still require me to fill it at least to 90%. So this whole thing is just a matter of the fact a disaster in making. So I'm thinking I'm gonna still experiment with it. I signed the interlining agreement with Aircheese already. I'm gonna pay like 240. Yeah, I'm almost paying for this one as much as for the Aircrest group. So this is a big strain on my budget as far as accounting goes. We're doing good, it's not like we can, but I keep increasing expenses by adding more aircraft and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a bummer. Also, I noticed that even though and it's actually worth mentioning, AGEX is just through the roof. The prices of fuel have been steadily rising as well. I don't know at what time we actually started. I think it was like in March. So you can see we started somewhere around $35, and now we are at, well, 45 maybe. So that's a bit something to keep in mind. Also, the reason that's driving me to increase the efficiency of my aircraft, because if it gets to places like this, we are royally fucked. We are royally fucked because all of our aircraft are using humongous amounts of fuel. Okay, so there's only one last thing. This episode is running way too long. I apologize for that. Actually, I think you guys enjoyed. But there's another thing that I actually would like to mention. I got a really nice message that made me kind of warm inside. That's not what I meant. From a company called Compagnia Area Azzurra, ran by Maverick. Maverick is running this airline, and he sent me a really nice personalized message where he asked me for an interline agreement. And what made me the most happy is that what he wrote in there was basically pretty much what I was writing to Helvetia in the start. And that is that the interline with him would really help my company and make me more stable, and that I would really appreciate it. So of course I said, wow, now I am one of the guys that I would actually in the beginning picked up as possible partners. So it made me happy. We struck an agreement. I told him that I will not expand beyond Rome with any more flights. The south is all his, and that I'm actually gonna strengthen my connection to him by at least an additional aircraft and upgrading the original one. He's based in he's based in Palermo now. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so he restarted yesterday, and he was originally located in Catania. So now he's in Palermo, and I don't think I actually do have flights to Palermo at all, do I? No. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna start flights to Palermo soon. And I'm gonna actually start it with probably an Airbus. Yeah, that would be good. Just a little thing to help out the new guy. The way that Helvetia Air and others helped me when I started. So, again, this was a really long episode. I apologize, but I got a lot to tell you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We're on a right track. I just need to keep us steered. And, we're riding the highway, Our seat load factor is above 93, thanks to AGEX. So now everything is easy. So let's make this transformation into a modern Polish carrier happen. And then we might be able to actually start the long-haul flights. I think that adding more capacity on places like Kaliningrad and Moscow and the outside Minsk, destinations will help me with the long haul in the short term. So we'll see if we're ready for that. But I know that this time, if I start the long haul, I will not discontinue. We'll just keep it. If it's a loss, it's a loss. What can I do? But I'll keep it running, and I'll do my best to actually feed enough into it so that we can one day say that it's profitable. So, till next time, you guys take care, and I hope that I'll have more news for you in the same manner. Bye!